Thank you for tuning in. This is Kevin Cardinale from the Shikama Live Show. Today I'd like to just discuss my own personal views about some of our constitutional amendments that have not been observed. First, the Fourth Amendment. Um, I wrote a blog at shikama.wordpress.com talking about, is the Fourth Amendment dead? And on paper, the Fourth Amendment is not dead. The courts have not said that sobriety checkpoints are constitutional. They have never said that. Uh, they seem to skirt around some language talking about uh, reasonable and unintrusive search, but at the bottom line is you cannot have uh, your ulterior motive be is that you are creating a situation for a pretense to do a search and seizure. That's the whole purpose. Even to the point of a person, one of their cases was the person was arrested, uh, booked, and then went out to the person's car, which was impounded. They found they opened up the trunk and found two marijuana butts, the little end of I don't smoke, so I can only assume that's what they meant, uh, of marijuana cigarettes. And then they found a sealed, locked suitcase. Well, the police pried open the suitcase and they upheld quashing that evidence because there is no there was no impetus to actually open the suitcase other than they wanted to see what was inside. There was no tip off. There was no nothing. They just had a car impounded and a sealed suitcase, and they wanted to rummage through the person and the guy's thing just to see, You can't I just want to see. The checkpoints are unconstitutional, and people say, well, if they're unconstitutional, why do we have them? Because nobody brings a lawsuit. Only on rare occasions do you ever see an actual case brought up, and usually it's a case uh, that skirts around the actual issue of, is the checkpoint constitutional? And they have said over and over that the checkpoints are not constitutional because you can't have a sort of Russian communist search and seizure type environment. You cannot have a Nazi Germany type bust down your door, come in, let's search your house for paraphernalia or you're hiding Jews or something like that. We do not want that in our country. You cannot have these types of setups where it's just a setup to begin with. Um, People then say, well, if you brought a lawsuit, then you have something to hide. And no, it's a question about freedom. And people have been talking about it lately. Ron Paul, Peter Schiff, Jim Rogers, Judge Napolitano. We don't want a country that we live in where we have the government intruding on private citizens. That's cops. That's the state. That's the federal government. It's a question of freedom and a question of upholding the Constitution. What is crazy to me is that the courts have not said anything to Congress about all of the unconstitutional activities that they're doing with this economic time. They have they haven't said a word about it. I'm really of the mind to just bring a lawsuit saying that the stimulus package is unconstitutional. It violates my rights for undue taxes. The bailout is undue taxes. We are being double and triple taxed from the bailouts and the stimulus packages. Everybody says, oh, we're going to get money. You're not going to get money. The stimulus package did exactly what the bailout did. They are taxing you. They are quadrupling, tripling, quadrupling, times 10 inflation. And you're just not seeing it yet because we are in a deflationary environment. I don't want to say deflation. We're in a stagnant environment. They have fired so many people. Unemployment is far above what they actually are reporting. They don't report people who have given up. People who are what is the word? Who have given up looking for a job. They don't report private contractors. They only report somebody who is actively looking for a job and receiving unemployment. The actual numbers that we were looking at, that I've seen reports, were actually unemployment should be at 15%. Not 6, not 7, not 8. I live in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas even reports 9% unemployment. But I just wanted to go over that quick thought about the constitutional amendments. I really would ask that people, A, not put pressure on other people who want to actually bring a lawsuit for constitutional purposes, because we're all going to benefit if somebody brings a constitutional lawsuit. Regardless of what you feel about that person. Oh, that person is some black kid that is uneducated and he shouldn't be carrying a gun. No, the issue is that should we live in a Nazi Germany state or a Russian state where the police just roll up on you and throw you in a car, beat you up, and then search your person? Why? Because that's the way you want to live in? That's the environment you want to live in? Do you want to just destroy the Constitution? Who cares? Who cares if some underage black kid actually had a gun? We don't want the police running around like the Gestapo. We don't want the police having any more impetus to beat, taser. I've seen videos on YouTube where the police were terrorizing people, just terrorizing people. Stop them because the taillight was out, and the person doesn't do what the police feels that they should do, and the police tasers them, pushes them out into traffic. We don't want to live in a society like that. Regardless of what the media is telling you, we don't want to live in a society like that. I don't care what the person, I don't care if the person was having sex in public. We don't want to live in a society where we are not observing the Constitution. Because if they start there, where's the stopping point? That's what you have to think about when you're looking at that sort of issue. Once again, go ahead and comment on my videos. I rate, subscribe to my channel, and I will come up with more of these deep and penetrating issues. Thank you. This is Kevin Cardinelli.